Morning, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to take a little bit of a break from our series to the life of David in our devotions. And this morning I'd like to read to you from Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. The writer says that wisdom cries aloud in the street, and in the markets she raises her voice. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about wisdom this morning. And part of wisdom is knowing when to go out and when to stay at home. And one of the things that makes us go out during a time like this is when we run out of things. And so I thought I'd speak a little bit about repurposing some stuff at home this morning, just to make sure that we don't have to go out as quickly as possible. And one of the things that I think, especially for guys, that we once we've used up, we just throw away, is our old boxers, our boxer shorts. And this morning I'd like to show you how to repurpose your old boxers so that we don't just have to throw them away. Now, you can't use a pair like this. Right, these ones have got holes in. You can see the holes there. These guys have seen some action, and these are not going to work for us. What we're looking for specifically, sort of a more stretchy pair like this, and it's an old stretchy pair. And I'd like to talk a little bit about what we can do with these in being wise, if you like. So the first thing we can do with these, obviously, at the moment, is we can use them when we go out to the shops. And the way you do that is you take them, you take the one leg, you pop this over your head like this, you pull this down as a nose filter, and then you take the top leg and you feed this back over your head, over your ears. Make sure that you're covered up. Safe to go out in public like this, no breathing, great filter here, and being responsible to everybody else and to yourself. So that's the first thing, use it as a nose filter. Number two, the second thing we can do with these, I know for some of us our sleep patterns have been messed up a little bit, and we're working late into the night on some stuff because deadlines have shifted and whatever. And if that's you and it's happened like that and you need to take a bit of a daytime nap, but the glare is a bit of a thing for you, what you can do is you take your boxes like this, take a pair of boxes, and you fold them over the two leg holes. You fold them over in half like this, and then you take the little front piece of the boxes. You can just kind of pull this up a little bit. It's a perfect little sleep mask. Kind of filters out all the light. You can put this down over your neck. It just feels nice here on your neck. And you can sleep. Just filters out all the light. And even with this over your ears a little bit, filters out a little bit of the noise around, and you can have a good nap during the day. The third one you can do, and this one I think, especially for those of us who are doing some maintenance around the house, we might be doing some handiwork or handyman projects, catching up on stuff. And I mean, I'm not that I want this to happen to anyone, but you could slip and break your arm. And if that happens, now you're sitting there with a broken arm, you've got to get to the hospital, and who knows what the queues are going to look like at the hospital. What you can do is you take your boxes like this, you stick your head through there, you spread out this arm, or spread out this leg, like this, pop your arm in there, sling. And you can hold your arm here as long as you want to. There's a great sling there, ready to hold your arm for as long as it takes for a doctor to get to see you. Wonderful, wonderful life hack here. The fourth one, and this is one that I use a lot. I get a lot of hay fever. I do struggle a lot with hay fever, and there's nothing quite as soft as an old pair of boxers. The fabric, and I can't even tell you how soft and tender this fabric is. Not abrasive like toilet paper. Or even tissues are abrasive compared to the soft fabric. You can use this as a hanky, rewashable hanky, beautiful, soft on your nose. Pop it in the wash and then get it out the next day and keep blowing your nose on it. It's a wonderful, wonderful hanky. The last thing you can use it for, out of the fifth one that I've come up with, or that I use my old boxes for, we've actually done this. My wife Cindy and I, we were sitting in a little town called Calvinia a couple of years ago. We were out bird watching in the Cape. And we'd gone to the local store, we wanted some coffee, and we managed to buy a packet of filter coffee, but alas, no filter. But that's where these things come in, and you would not believe just the holes in this garment, the way it just is perfect for coffee. So what you do is you just take it, put it over the cup, stretch it nicely over the top of the cup, then you take your coffee and you put it in, make sure that you fill it nicely, just enough for one cup, not too much, so sort of 3/4 of a tablespoon, put it in. Then very carefully, you take your hot water and you pour it round in a circle and you wait for the coffee to bloom. Now, I've learned this from Taz, who's a barista. He taught me exactly how to do this. You just pour it until it blooms and let the coffee run through. And please do this with a clean pair of undies. You want the flavor of the coffee, nothing else. And the flavor kind of all works its way through, end up with a wonderful cup of coffee there. So there's my 5 hacks to being wise and not going out on the street all the time unnecessarily. I'm not sure what you guys were expecting from us on April Fool's, but here's a challenge for you. Why not over the next couple of days? For you, maybe you yourself, maybe you and some friends, you and your family, whatever. Why don't you put together a little video as well? So maybe it's repurposing stuff around the house like I've done this morning. Maybe it's a TikTok dance with your kids or with someone else. Maybe it's juggling, if that's your thing. Just no clowns, because clowns are weird and creepy. But just something, and send it through to us, and we'll send it off to the rest of the church community, share it with them. Proverbs 17:22 says that a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So let's have some fun, let's send the videos through, and we'll continue with our devotional through the life of David tomorrow morning.